Okay, this is where we left off on part 1 of chapter 16.4 about the grants needed to test two testable assumptions about beaks. So the first, again, was like beak size and shape to evolve. There must be some sort of heritable variation. Somehow size and shape is inherited, in some way it's inherited. And that would be like provide raw material for natural selection. And then second, again, differences in beak size and shape must produce differences in how well, in something called fitness, which is how well something can survive, being able to increase the idea of like reproduction. That is what fitness is about. So the grants have tested these hypotheses on medium groundfinch on the island of Daphne Major. This island is large enough to support good-sized finch populations, yet small enough to allow the grants to catch, tag, and identify nearly every bird of the species. So this medium finch, this finch feeds on large, thick seeds with a beak that is thick, strong, and sharp. This beak works like a heavy-duty wire cutter to apply strong pressure and cutting force near its base. So during their study, the grants periodically recaptured the birds. They recorded which individuals are alive and which have died, which have reproduced, and which have not. For each individual, the grants record different anatomical characteristics like wing length, leg length, beak depth, beak color, feather color, and total mass. So the grants data have shown that individual finches with different sized beaks have better or worse chances of surviving both seasonal droughts and longer dry spells. So when food becomes scarce during dry periods, birds with the largest beaks are more likely to survive. So as a result, the average beak size in this finch population has increased dramatically because having that bigger beak helped them get more food, so therefore they're the ones that were able to reproduce, and therefore they passed on the traits for the bigger beaks. So changes in food supply created selection pressure that caused finch populations to evolve within decades. This evolutionary change occurred much faster than many researchers thought possible. The grants have documented that natural selection takes place in wild finch populations frequently and sometimes rapidly. The grants data also confirm that competition and environmental change drive natural selection. Traits that don't matter much under one set of environmental conditions became adaptive as the environment changes during a drought. So without heritable variation in beak size, the medium ground finch would not be able to adapt to feeding on larger, tougher seeds during a drought. The grants work shows that variation within a species increases the likelihood of the species adapting to and surviving environmental change. So again, if the environment became really lots of rain for long periods of time, or again, long series of droughts, having that variability, having some finches maybe with like a small beak for when it was like more wet seasons versus large beaks for dry seasons to get through the tougher seeds, that variability ensures that that species would survive. Today, evolutionary theory, which includes natural selection, offers insights that are vital to all branches of biology, from research on infectious disease to ecology. That's why evolution is often called the grand unifying theory of the life sciences. Like any scientific theory, evolutionary theory is constantly reviewed as new data are gathered. Researchers still debate important questions such as precisely how new species arise and why species become extinct. There's also significant uncertainty about exactly how life began. However, any questions that remain are about how evolution works, not whether evolution actually occurs. To scientists, evolution is the key to understanding the natural world. Okay, that was part 2, very short. Thank you.